the summer wind came blowing in from across the sea.
Does that make you feel cheery, or that we're sort of masochistic to play that while looking at that? Well, nothing further from the summer wind than what has been blowing here in the Northeast. But there are ways for investors to cash in on this nasty blizzard, even after it passes. We have our storm team in place. Aaron Studwell, Senior Manager of Research and Analytics with Weather Insight, a firm that helps traders better understand what weather really does to commodity prices. And Jimmy Oreo is Director of TJM Institutional Services. And now Matt's giving you some ideas. Let's bring in Aaron Studwell, Senior Manager of Research and Analytics with Weather Insight, and Jimmy Oreo, aforementioned Director of TJM Institutional. Okay, good to have both of you with us. Aaron, let me start with you. We were joking this morning. We said, why is it that every time it snows, even in the same year, everyone has to go out and buy another snowblower or a shovel? I mean, where'd you put the first one? But yet it happens.
Yeah, I have a lot of friends back east. We're down in Houston, and everybody I talk to back east is they're out of snowblowers. They just can't find any. So it's been real tough for people out there. So we're looking at Briggs & Stratton, they're the largest manufacturer of small gas-powered engines, and Own Simplicity is the leading brand of snowblowers. And there's just such demand out east now. It's incredible. It really is amazing out there what kind of season you've had.
And Briggs & Stratton shares up 43% over the past year. A name like that, you think it can move enough on blowers like we're looking at in this picture? I mean, that matters for them?
I believe it does, and it's really, I mean, maybe more hype over substance. And when we get to the end of the quarter, well, right now we're right at the end of the quarterly earnings period, so we'll see those numbers come out, and I think we'll see a significant bump, especially in this sector compared to last season.
Okay, what about you, Mr. Iorio? You have an idea.
Well, my inclination, when we talk about the names that move sharply because of the severe weather, is usually to take the other side of that, because the market's kind of like the media, tends to overblow things, and I know it's severe weather, but it happens, okay? But one thing I think that's important is that if a name is drawn onto the radar screen because of the weather, now then under the bright lights we have to decide whether that passes or fails on its own merits aside from the weather. I'm looking at VNR, which is the Vanguard Natural Gas. It's involved in acquisition and exploration of natural gas. Now, UNG, the natural gas price itself has been trending lower since June of '08. So every time I've tried to, sometimes it defies logic. Every time I've tried to play that UNG and buy, I think it's going to go up. I've worn the scars of that trade. However, this Vanguard fund, which is involved in natural gas, which natural gas is, I believe, heats the majority of the houses in this country, the Vanguard fund has been doing quite well. It yields 8.8%. Now, the reason that's significant is because over the last few days, the long end of the interest rate curve, rates have been going down a little bit. So if that happens for a few days in a row, too, people start talking about dividends because they want to put money to work. So with this fund, you get the weather play because it is natural gas, and you also get a strong dividend play that involves the compressing of long-term rates.
All right. Thanks very much. Appreciate both of you being with us. Aaron and Jim. Interesting ideas. Always ways to make money on it. Okay, here's a little riddle. Just ahead on the show, we're going to answer this question. What has a higher risk of death? Getting a chest x-ray, getting struck by lightning, or driving a recalled Toyota?